Before we dive into tonight's tale, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want more creepy stories that will keep you up at night. So I'm Nate, 31, the middle kid of us three brothers, the one who's always 2 seconds from losing it, you know? I've got a short fuse, and half the time I'm moving before my brain catches up. It's 2017 and we're out at the Grand Canyon, right on the edge of this massive drop-off that makes your stomach lurch just looking at it. It's me, my older brother Chris. He's 34, the guy who's always got his head screwed on straight, or at least he thinks he does. And then there's Tom, the baby at 28, still soft around the edges, the kind of guy who feels everything too damn much. We're out there because of Dad. He disappeared in 2010, right in this same stretch of nowhere, leaving us with nothing but his beat-up old Ford pickup and this half-assed promise he made years ago: scatter my ashes in the canyon when I'm gone. Well, he's gone all right, and we've finally hauled ourselves out here to camp in the dirt and do it. Let him go, or at least try to. The day's winding down, and the sun's dropping low, painting the whole place in this burnt orange glow that makes the rocks look like they're bleeding. We're standing maybe 10 feet from the rim, the wind kicking up little swirls of dust around our boots. Tom's got the urn, some cheap, scratched-up metal thing we found in the garage, and he's holding it tight, like he's scared it's going to slip through his fingers. Chris is next to me, arms crossed, staring out like he's already checked out of this whole emotional mess. Me? I'm pacing a little, kicking at pebbles, trying to shake this weird itch in my chest I can't explain. Tom finally steps up to the edge, tilts the urn, and lets Dad's ashes spill out. They catch the breeze and twist down into the canyon, this gray cloud disappearing into the shadows below. I squint, leaning forward a bit because, hold up, did I just see something move down there? Like between those jagged rocks way at the bottom, a quick flick of a shadow darting out of sight. You guys see that? I mutter, pointing, my voice low like I don't want to spook myself. Chris just snorts, rolling his eyes like I'm some kid jumping at ghosts. It's the wind, Nate. Chill out, he says, brushing it off like he always does. Tom doesn't say a word, though. He's just standing there, still gripping the empty urn with both hands, his knuckles white, staring down into the drop like he's waiting for Dad to wave back up at us. We let it go, or at least I try to. The rest of the evening drags on, and by nightfall, we've got a fire going. Nothing big, just some crackling logs spitting sparks into the dark. We're sprawled out on these old camping chairs we dragged from the truck, the kind with frayed straps that creak every time you shift. I've got a cold beer in my hand, the bottle sweating against my palm, and Chris is nursing his, picking at the label with his thumbnail. Tom's across from us, still clutching that damn urn, resting it on his knees like it's a kid he's got to keep safe. The canyon's quiet, except for the fire popping and the occasional rustle of wind through the scrub brush. I'm halfway through a sip when Tom jolts upright, his beer sloshing over the rim. "There, past the light," he gasps, his voice all tight and shaky, pointing out into the black beyond the fire's glow. I whip my head around, heart slamming up into my throat, and for a split second, I catch it. A tall, skinny shape flickering just at the edge where the light fades into nothing. It's there and gone so fast I can't even tell what I saw, like my eyes are playing catch-up with my brain. "Coyote," Chris grunts, barely looking up, like it's no big deal, but I'm already on edge. My free hand dropping to the hunting knife, clipped to my belt. I pull it out slow, the blade catching the firelight, because something about that shape didn't feel right. Too upright, too deliberate. I'm about to snap at Chris, tell him to quit acting like he's got all the answers, when it hits me, a sound that stops me cold. It's this low, drawn-out whistle, soft but sharp, cutting through the night like a razor. My spine locks up and the beer slips in my grip, almost hitting the dirt. I know that whistle. It's the same one Dad used to do when we were kids. This little tune he'd blow through his teeth to call us back from the yard when we'd been out chasing fireflies or whatever. 2 short notes, 1 long, always the same. I glance at Chris, his jaw's tight, but he's staring into the fire like he didn't hear it. Tom's gone still, his breath hitching, eyes wide and glassy. "You heard that right?" I say, my voice barely above a whisper, but neither of them answers. The fire crackles louder, spitting a shower of sparks, and I swear I can still hear that whistle echoing off the canyon walls, bouncing back at us like it's alive. No one says a damn word, but it's there, hanging between us, clear as death itself. So morning comes, and I'm up before the sun's even fully cleared the horizon. The fire's nothing but a pile of gray ash now, still smoldering a little, sending up thin wisps of smoke that sting my eyes. Chris is snoring in his sleeping bag, sprawled out like he owns the place, and Tom's curled up near the truck, the urn tucked under his arm like a damn teddy bear. Me, I can't sit still. My head's buzzing from last night, that whistle still rattling around in my skull. I grab a stick and start poking around camp, kicking at the dirt, trying to shake off the unease that settled into my bones. The air's crisp, smells like dry sage and dust, and the canyon stretching out below us, all quiet and endless. I'm messing with some rocks near this scraggly pine tree when I see it, something white flapping in the breeze, pinned to the trunk. I step closer, squinting, and my gut does a slow flip. It's a Polaroid, nailed right into the bark with a rusty little tack. I yank it free, my fingers brushing the rough edges, and there he is, Dad, grinning like he just told one of his dumb fishing jokes, wearing that old denim jacket with the tear on the sleeve. My breath catches, because at the bottom, scrawled in black ink, it says 2017. 7 years after he vanished out here. My stomach twists up like I swallowed a fistful of nails. This is messed up, I say out loud, my voice cracking a little, holding the photo out like it's gonna bite me. I stumble back to the fire pit, kicking an empty beer can out of the way, and shove it in Chris's face as he's rubbing sleep out of his eyes. Look at this, man. What the hell is this? He sits up, all bleary and annoyed, snatches it from me, and stares at it for a good 10 seconds before his jaw tightens. Probably some hiker's prank, he says, tossing it down like it's nothing, but his voice is too flat, too forced. I turn to Tom, who's awake now, sitting up slow, his hair all matted from the ground. He takes one look at the picture, and his hands start shaking, bad. That's the jacket, he stammers, his eyes locked on it. The tear, right there on the sleeve. I remember it from the day he left, Nate. He hugged me in that jacket. His voice breaks, and he's clutching the urn tighter, like it's the only thing keeping him together. I'm about to argue with Chris, tell him there's no way some random jerk hiked out here to screw with us, when there's this loud snap, a branch cracking sharp enough to echo off the rocks. I whip around, my boots scuffing the dirt, and there it is, up on the ridge maybe 50 yards off, a figure standing tall, wearing that same damn jacket, hood pulled up over its head. My heart's pounding so hard I can feel it in my throat. "Hey!" I shout, my voice bouncing back at me, and before I even think about it, I'm charging toward it, kicking up dust with every step. I hear Chris curse behind me, fumbling with his pack, and then he's yelling, "Nate, wait up!" I don't stop, though. My legs are burning, and I'm dodging these little scrub bushes that snag at my jeans. Chris catches up, binoculars in hand, and he skids to a stop beside me, lifting them to his face. He's quiet for a second, too long, and then they slip from his hands, hitting the ground with a dull thud. "It's Dad's face," he chokes out, his voice all raw and ragged, like he's about to puke. I grab the binoculars, but by the time I get them up, the figure's gone, just ducked down into the rocks like it melted away. Tom's panting behind us now, his sneakers sliding on the loose gravel, and we're all running, boots pounding the dirt, chasing after whatever the hell that was. We hit this little dip where the ridge flattens out, and there's footprints, deep ones, pressed into the dry ground, leading off toward a cluster of boulders. I'm breathing hard, sweat stinging my eyes, following the tracks, but then they just stop. No scuff marks, no nothing. They loop back around, curving toward camp like it doubled back on us. "What the hell?" I mutter, wiping my forehead with my sleeve. I kneel down, my knee crunching into the dirt, and that's when I smell it, this faint whiff of rot like wet earth that's been sitting too long, sour and thick. My hand brushes the ground, and my fingers hit something hard. I pull it up, a cracked, yellowed fingernail, human, stuck right there in the soil like it grew out of it. I drop it fast, wiping my hand on my pants, my skin crawling. "Chris, you seeing this?" I say, standing up, my voice sharp. He's just staring at me, pale, and then he does something I don't expect. He reaches into his bag, pulls out this beat-up leather journal and flips it open. "It's Dad's," he says, not meeting my eyes. "Been holding on to it since 2010. He wrote about some secret spot out here down in the canyon." I blink at him, my brain catching up, and then I'm on him, shoving him hard in the chest so he stumbles back a step. "You kept that from us?" I yell, my hands balling into fists. "All this time you've had that, and you didn't say a damn word." He's got his hands up, trying to calm me down, but I can see it in his face. He knows he screwed up, and now we're all in deeper than we should be. So we're back at camp, and it's chaos. Me, Chris, and Tom, all sweaty and out of breath from sprinting after that thing on the ridge. The sun's long gone now, and the sky's this deep, bruised purple, stars starting to poke through like pinpricks. The fire's still going, crackling away, throwing these jittery shadows across the dirt. I'm pacing near the truck, my boots kicking up little puffs of dust, trying to wrap my head around that Polaroid and the fingernail I found. My hands are still shaking from it. Chris is over by the cooler, digging out another beer, but he's not drinking it, just holding it, staring at the ground like he's replaying something in his head. Tom's sitting on one of the chairs, knees pulled up, rocking a little, the urn balanced on his lap. We're arguing loud enough that our voices bounce off the canyon walls. Stay or go, that's the fight. "We need to pack up and get the hell out of here," I snap, wiping sweat off my neck with the back of my hand. "This isn't right, Chris. You saw that thing." He shakes his head, popping the beer cap off with his thumb, and says, "We're not running from some shadow, Nate. It's probably just some creep messing with us." His voice is steady, but his knuckles are white around the bottle. Tom pipes up, all quiet and shaky. "What if it's Dad, though? What if he's still out here?" I shoot him a look, ready to tell him that's crazy, but then I stop, because I don't know what I believe anymore. That's when it happens. I'm mid-step, turning to grab my pack when I catch movement out of the corner of my eye, just beyond the fire's glow, maybe 20 feet off. It's a shape, tall and lean, stepping closer, wearing Dad's jacket, the one from the photo. The hood's up, shadowing its face, but I can feel it watching us. My stomach drops, and I freeze, my breath hitching. Chris sees it too. He drops his beer, the bottle hitting the dirt with a dull thud, foam spilling out. "Screw this," he mutters, snatching the flashlight from the pile of gear by the tent. He clicks it on, the beam cutting through the dark, and storms toward it, his boots crunching loud on the gravel. I'm right behind him, my hand gripping the hatchet I keep hooked on my belt, but he stops so fast I almost slam into him. He's just standing there, the light shaking in his hand, and then he screams, "It's him! Dad's face!" His voice cracks, high and panicked, not like Chris at all. I shove past him, squinting into the beam, and there it is, those wide, unblinking eyes I'd know anywhere. Dad's eyes, staring right at me. But that grin, it's too big, stretching ear to ear like his face got pulled apart and stitched back wrong. My chest tightens, and I stumble back a step, the hatchet slipping in my sweaty grip. The thing doesn't move at first, just stands there. Then it shifts, backing off slow into the dark, the jacket rustling like dry leaves. Chris staggers back to us, his face pale as bone, the flashlight dangling loose in his hand, throwing wild shadows across the camp. We're all clumped together now, breathing hard, and I'm about to say something, anything, when the voice cuts through the air. "Tommy, come home." It rasps, low and gravelly, just like Dad's growl when he'd bang on our bedroom doors at dawn to drag us out fishing. It's so clear, so close, I can almost feel the rumble of it in my chest. My hatchet's out now, full-on shaking in my fist, and I spin around, trying to pin down where it's coming from. "Nate, my boy, don't run," it says next, softer this time, like he's right behind me, whispering in my ear. I whip around, swinging the blade at nothing, my heart hammering so loud it's all I can hear. Tom's crying now, these quiet, hiccuping sobs, and he's muttering, "Dad?" over and over, rocking harder. His hands pressed to his face. The voice shifts, zeroing in on Chris. "You left me here." It's sharp now, accusing, and Chris flinches like he got slapped. I didn't leave you," he yells back, his voice breaking, but his eyes are wild, guilty as hell, and I remember that journal he's been hiding. He's clutching it now, pulled from his bag, his fingers digging into the leather. The fire picks that moment to flare up, a log splitting with this loud pop, sending a burst of sparks swirling into the night. The light hits the canyon wall behind us, and there's Dad's shadow, tall, broad-shouldered, just like I remember him, stretched out across the rock. But there's nothing casting it. No figure, no shape, just the shadow watching us. I blink, and it's still there, head tilted like it's listening. Then I hear it, scratching, sharp and slow, coming from under the tent. It's like nails dragging through the dirt, deliberate, scraping right beneath where we'd been sleeping. Tom yelps, scrambling back, knocking over his chair with a clatter. I step closer, hatchet raised, peering at the tent flap as it flutters in the breeze, but I can't see a damn thing. "Show yourself!" I yell into the night, my voice raw, echoing back at me. The scratching stops, and for a second it's dead quiet, just the wind and the fire's hiss. Then that voice comes again, soft and steady, drifting out of the dark. "Come home, boys." It's Dad, no question, calling us like he used to, and it's all I can do not to bolt right then and there. So, after that voice and the scratching under the tent, I'm done. I can't sit around waiting for whatever's out there to come get us. My head's spinning, and Chris's damn journal is burning a hole in my thoughts. I snatch it from his hands, flipping through the pages while he's still catching his breath, muttering about how we should stay put. The fire's dying down now, just glowing embers casting a faint red haze over camp, and I'm squinting at Dad's sloppy handwriting under the beam of my flashlight. There's a sketch, a rough map, pointing to this spot he called the Hollow, a cave tucked into the canyon wall a half-mile from where we're at. "That's it," I say, slamming the journal shut, my voice tight. "I'm going. You coming or not?" Tom's still sniffling, wiping his nose on his sleeve, but he nods, scrambling to his feet. Chris groans, rubbing his leg where he twisted it running earlier, but he's up too, limping after me as I grab my hatchet and start hiking, the flashlight bouncing in my hand. It takes us maybe 20 minutes, stumbling over rocks and brush in the dark, the canyon dead quiet, except for our boots crunching and Chris's heavy breathing. I find it, a jagged slit in the rock face, barely wide enough to squeeze through, like a crack some giant split open with an axe. I shine the light in and the beam catches on something carved into the stone. Dad's initials, JR, scratched deep, the edges worn but sharp. My stomach lurches, but I duck inside, the air hitting me like a wet slap, thick, warm, pulsing like there's a heartbeat rattling through the walls. Tom's right behind me, his sneakers scuffing as he squeezes in, and Chris grunts, forcing his way through, his shoulder scraping the rock. The cave opens up a little, and my light lands on a pile in the corner, skins, dry and leathery, stacked like old rugs. I step closer, my boots echoing on the damp floor, and I see it. One's got Dad's eagle tattoo, the one he got after his first hunting trip, faded but unmistakable on this shriveled patch of hide. "Oh God," I choke out, my voice bouncing back at me, and I stumble back, the hatchet slipping in my sweaty grip. We're all just staring, frozen when I hear it. Movement at the entrance. I spin around, flashlight shaking, and there's that figure again, blocking the way out. It's got Dad's face, those wide eyes, that stretched grin, but its hands are wrong, stretching too long, fingers ending in these glinting claws that catch the light like knives. My heart slams into my ribs, and before I can yell, it lunges, fast, claws slashing the air. Chris reacts first. He grabs a loose rock off the ground, big as a softball, and hurls it, smashing it right into the thing's chest. It staggers back, but then it laughs. Dad's laugh, deep and rolling, the one he'd let out when we'd trip over ourselves trying to bait a hook. "You can't hurt me, son," it says, its voice dripping with this sick amusement, and it's like a punch to the gut hearing Dad sound like that. I'm done waiting. I charge, swinging my hatchet hard, the blade biting into its arm. It hisses, reeling back into the dark outside, and I'm panting, adrenaline buzzing in my ears. Chris grabs his chest, wincing, and I shine the light on him. There's a scratch across his shirt, shallow but oozing this thick black gunk that smells like rotting meat. "I'm fine," he gasps, but his face is gray, and he's leaning hard against the wall. Tom's whimpering behind me, tugging at my sleeve. "Nate, over here," he says, his voice high and desperate. I turn, and he's pointing at a narrow tunnel branching off, barely a crawl space, the walls glistening wet in the flashlight's glow. "We've got no choice," I mutter, shoving the journal into my pocket and dropping to my knees. The heart beats louder now, pounding through the rock, shaking my ribs as I crawl, the hatchet scraping along beside me. Tom's right behind, his breathing ragged, and Chris is last, wheezing as he drags himself through, his bad legs slowing him down. The walls are slick, like flesh, warm and slimy under my hands, and I'm fighting not to puke. Then I see them, faces bulging out of the rock, mouths open in silent screams, eyes wide and glassy. Trapped men, dozens of them, pressed into the walls like they're part of it. My flashlight flickers, and one so close I can see the stubble on its chin. I jerk back, my head smacking the ceiling, and something wet sticks to my hand, a strand of gray hair, Dad's hair, dripping with this slimy muck. I gag, shaking it off, my stomach heaving, and shove Tom forward, his knees sliding in the damp. "Keep going," I yell, my voice hoarse. Chris's voice comes from behind, weak and broken. "I'm sorry I didn't save him." I glance back, he's clutching his chest, that black ooze staining his fingers, his eyes glassy with guilt. And I know he's talking about Dad, about whatever happened out here in 2010. So we burst out of that tunnel, scrambling onto this rocky ledge outside the cave, the night air hitting us like a slap after that suffocating slime. I'm on my knees, gasping, the flashlight bouncing in my hand, dirt caked under my nails from clawing through. Tom's next to me, coughing hard, his face streaked with sweat and that wet muck from the walls. Chris, he's last, dragging himself out, and he's moving slow, too slow. I shine the light on him, and my stomach flips. His skin's cracking, like old paint peeling off a wall, these dry, jagged lines splitting across his arms and neck. "Chris, come on!" I yell, grabbing his elbow to haul him up, but he's heavy, sluggish, his breath coming in these wet, rattling wheezes. He looks at me, eyes dull, and mutters, "Just go," but I'm not leaving him, not yet. That's when I hear it. Footsteps, deliberate and crunching, coming from the cave mouth behind us. I whip around, hatchet up, and there it is again. That thing, stepping out into the moonlight. But now it's wearing Chris's face, fresh and dripping, like it just peeled him open and slipped him on. The eyes are too bright, the mouth too wide, and there's this slick red sheen on it, like it's still wet from the change. My brain stutters, because then I hear Chris, the real Chris, screaming from inside the cave, this raw, torn-up howl. "Nate, Tom, don't leave me!" He's alive, skinned, his voice echoing out, and the thing in front of us laughs, mimicking him perfect. "Wait for me, brothers," it says in Chris's voice, all playful and wrong, tilting its head like it's teasing us. I stumble back, my boots slipping on the loose gravel, and grab Tom's arm. "We're gone! Now!" I shout, dragging him toward the truck parked back at camp, my heart hammering so hard I can barely think. We're running, tripping over rocks, the canyon stretching out dark and endless around us. Tom's keeping up, but he's clawing at his arm, scratching like he's got bugs under his skin. I glance over, and my breath catches. He's peeling it, strips of his own skin curling back, and underneath it's not his. It's someone else's, pale and smooth, like it doesn't belong. "Tom, stop it!" I yell, grabbing his wrist, but he's shaking, muttering, "It's not me, Nate. It's not me," his voice all high and frantic. We hit the truck, and I fumble with the keys, my hands trembling so bad I drop them in the dirt. I scoop them up, unlock the door, and shove Tom toward the passenger side. But then I see his eyes. They're wrong, too wide, too still, not Tom's anymore. My gut screams at me, and I slam the door shut, locking it from the inside, my voice cracking as I yell through the glass, "You're not Tom!" He bangs on the window, palms smacking hard, begging, "Nate, let me in, please." But his voice, it's off, too smooth, like it's trying too hard. I'm fumbling with the ignition when that thing catches up, strolling out of the dark like it's got all the time in the world. It's close now, maybe 10 feet off, and it reaches up, peeling Chris's face off slow, like shedding a mask. Underneath, it's Dad's face again, that stretched grin, those unblinking eyes, but it doesn't stop. It pulls again, and now it's someone else, a stranger's face, sharp and grinning, unfamiliar but just as wrong. "There's room for you both," it whispers, soft and close, like it's right in my ear, even through the glass. I jam the key in, turn it, and the engine sputters to life, but then the radio kicks on, blaring Dad's old camping song, that dumb little tune he'd hum by the fire, "Down by the river, we'll lay our bones." It's slow, warped, the notes dragging like they're drowning in mud. My hands freeze on the wheel, and I glance at the window. Tom's still there, pounding, his face pressed to the glass, but his skin's peeling more, sliding off in wet clumps, showing something else underneath, something I don't recognize. "Nate, don't leave me," he cries, but it's not his voice anymore. It's mixing with Dad's, with Chris's, with that thing's, all twisted together. I slam my foot on the gas, the tires spinning in the dirt, because I can't look at him. I can't. So, I'm flooring it, the truck roaring as I peel away from camp, gravel spitting under the tires. My hands are locked on the wheel, knuckles white, and I'm trying not to look in the rearview mirror, but I can't help it. There's Tom's shape, standing on the rim of the canyon, backlit by the moonlight, just waving slow, like he's saying goodbye. Then I hear it, clear as anything, in my own damn voice. "You'll come back for me, Nate." It's not coming from the radio or the wind. It's like it's inside my head, bouncing around my skull. My throat tightens, and I slam my foot harder on the gas, the engine screaming as I tear down the dirt road, the canyon blurring past in the dark. I'm muttering to myself, just get out, trying to drown out that voice, but it's there, looping, mocking me. Then the truck starts coughing, sputtering like it's choking on something. The dashboard lights flicker, and the needle on the gas gauge is pinned to empty, even though I know we filled up before we got here. I curse, smacking the wheel, and pull over, the tires crunching to a stop on the side of the road. I pop the hood, my flashlight shaking in my hand as I check the engine, and there it is, the gas line sliced clean, like someone took a knife to it, fuel dripping into the dirt. My stomach drops. I'm miles from anywhere, alone, with that thing, whatever it is, still out there. I grab my hatchet from the passenger seat, clip it to my belt, and start walking, my boots scuffing the pavement, the canyon looming off to my left like it's watching me. The air's cold now, biting through my jacket, and every rustle in the brush makes me jump, my hand twitching toward the blade. It feels like forever, but I finally spot a glow up ahead. A gas station, one of those rundown ones with a flickering neon sign that says open 24/7. I stumble inside, the bell above the door jangling too loud in the quiet. The clerk's this older guy, maybe 60, with a gray beard and a stained trucker hat, leaning on the counter, flipping through a magazine. "Hey, man," I gasp, my voice rough from running. "I need help. My truck's dead, and something's after me." He looks up slow, his eyes narrowing, and just stares, not saying a word. I'm panting, leaning on the counter, trying to explain. About the cave, the thing with Dad's face, but he cuts me off, pointing at the smudged glass door behind me. "Your eyes," he says, his voice low, like he's afraid to say it out loud. I turn, catching my reflection, and my breath stops. My eyes, they're too wide, too bright, and my mouth's curled into this grin I didn't put there, just like that thing's. I stumble back, my hip banging into a rack of candy bars, knocking them to the floor with a clatter. My arm's itching now, this sharp, burning sting I can't ignore. I roll up my sleeve and there's a seam, my skin splitting, peeling back like a zipper, and underneath it's not me. It's someone else's, smooth and wrong, like it's been waiting to come out. I claw at it, panicking, and a piece flakes off, fluttering to the ground like dead leaves. The clerk's backing away now, grabbing a phone off the wall, but I'm already out the door, my boots pounding the pavement, because I can't stay. Not like this. I'm muttering to myself, the ashes, it's the ashes, because it's clicking now. Those damn ashes we scattered weren't just Dad's. Something rode them up from the canyon, something that's been planting itself in us this whole time, growing under our skin. My voice cracks mid-sentence, dropping deeper, not mine anymore, like someone else is talking through me. "Stay with us, Nate," it says, smooth and calm, and I clap a hand over my mouth, gagging. I'm running blind now, the road stretching out into the dark, but there's this hum following me. Not the wind, not my heartbeat, but that same pulsing rhythm from the cave, low and steady, vibrating in my chest. I glance down and my shadow's wrong. It's splitting, stretching out behind me, and it's not just mine. There's Dad's shape, broad and tall, then Chris's, limping, and someone else, someone I don't know, reaching out with two long hands. I trip, hitting the ground hard, my palms scraping raw on the asphalt. The hum gets louder, and I can feel the canyon out there, waiting, pulling me back like it's got hooks in my skin. I'm still running, man, but I don't know how far I'll get, not when it's already inside me. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more creepy stories. Stay safe, and see you in the next nightmare.